Hey, shalom, shalom. Let's start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahawah, Bahasham, yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadah. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone GMS who rule well and taught me this truth. Shalom to the Bayad Dawadah, and shalom to the sincere Aquathium who are staying in order according to the scriptures. I'm your brother Shemayim, coming back with another lesson. I am from the Diligent Soldier Camp out here in Boston, Massachusetts. And, I hope that this lesson be edifying to the elect. Okay? I got a video and an article I want to show you, sincere listeners. And then I got a couple scriptures lined up. Okay? I'm not too sure what I'm going to name this lesson. So from the top of my head, I don't really have a title right now. Okay? That being said, I want to express to you guys to get ready for some type of FF, right? False flag. Get ready for some type of food pandemic. Get ready for some type of food crisis to happen. It's a lot of shit happening right now in the world, right? That it's not a coincidence. It's leading up to something very serious, right? First, a lot of forest fires been happening lately, right? In the time of the pandemic, right? The C1 to the 9. What was happening? All over the whole world, major food plants were randomly catching on fire and burning down. You see? Think about this shit, right? I remember there was this
power off.
It's a lot. I got my Bluetooth because I want you guys to hear the video that I'm gonna play.
Power on.
That I'm gonna
Bluetooth pairing.
That I'm gonna put that I am going to put for you guys.
Bluetooth connected.
But my Bluetooth has like a little time and it turns off on its own. That being said, not so long ago, there was a certain chicken farm or a chicken plant, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not talking about plant like a green plant. I'm talking about like a location, a facility. Right? There was a chicken plant that got burned down and over 100,000 chickens were burned down, died. How ironic. How ironic. I remember even in the time of the pandemic, we were seeing how out of nowhere just there was a lot of farms. I think this was I'm pretty sure it was in Texas. One of them I did a lesson on it where an abundance amount of cattle were just dropping dead. And now 2023, my people. Right? 2023. How ironic that the FDA approved fake chicken. Let's put it like that. Right? And I got the article, and in the article is a video. Okay? So before we even get the video, gotta get this disclaimer. Because as we know, YouTube is on one. All right? YouTube is on one. This is a disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. YouTube, this is fair use. Okay? That being said, let's get straight to it. This is the article. Okay, it's by ABC News. I'm gonna read let me read the article and then I'll bring out the video. Right, this is USDA approves first ever cell cultivated meat. So let's call it that. Cell cultivated meat for 2 American manufacturers. This is by Kelly McCarthy. And this came out on June 22, 2023. All right, so literally a couple days ago. Literally. All right. So before I even play this video, after years of research and rigorous testing, cell cultivated meat will officially become part of the U.S. food system. What is this? Oh, the video went down. Okay. A Maryville, California-based manufacturer. So this is one of the of the two American manufacturers going to be pushing this what do they call it? Cell cultivated meat. All right. It says a Maryville, California-based manufacturer, Upside Foods, which gave ABC News a look inside its facilities earlier this year, and Good Meat is cultivated meat division of the plant-based egg substitute food technology company Eat Just are the first U.S. Department of Agriculture approved cell cultivated chicken meat producers, and has been fully approved by the U.S. government for commercial sales nationwide. You don't say. Okay. The food and agriculture manufacturing industry has hailed this as a historic moment. After years of investment in Upside Food from Bill Gates. Hold up. What? From Bill Gates. How ironic. How ironic. Bill Gates, the man that was pushing the venom, the vaccine, right? The man that created the solution in the time of the C to the 1 to the 9 pandemic, right? How ironic. Let's continue reading. All right, it says after years of investment in Upside Food from Bill Gates, Richard Branson, and Whole Food founder John McKay, as scientists, and that's very interesting, because Whole Foods be on some shit too, man. Anyways, as scientists taught the lab cultivated meat as a possible solution for global warming, inhumane treatment of animal, and growing global hunger. You know, through the spirit, let's get out this scripture. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay, so when these devils, right, that are funding this movement of cell cultivating meat are saying that, I'm gonna read it again, as scientists tout the lab cultivated meat as a possible solution for global warming, inhumane treatment of animals, and growing global hunger, you can't trust these devils, man. Good Meat, which previously won multiple regulatory approvals to sell its chicken in Singapore, will begin production for the American market and launch with restaurateurs and chef partners Jose Andres. The Alameda, California-based company called the latest USDA and FDA approval a watershed moment for the burgeoning cultivated meat, poultry, and seafood sectors, and for the global food industry. Look at this. We have been the only company selling cultivated meat anywhere in the world since we launched in Singapore in 2020, and now it is approved to sell to consumers in the world's largest economy. Josh Chetrick, co-founder and CEO of Good Meat and Eat, just said in a statement. So understand that this is USDA and FDA approved. Right? I'm going to read it again. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And let me make this point. Let me make this clear. Right, we're gonna start watching the video. And I'm gonna put this article in the link. So like I'm gonna put the link of this article in the description box. So you guys can, take a look at it, and if you guys want to make a video as well. But let me make this clear. All right. This right here. This meat approval is getting no spotlight in the media, in the mainstream media. Understand this, right? What is the number one viral news reporting or story right now all over America, from what we know, right? Based on the news. Think about it. What's the number one viral story right now? Yeah, exactly. This submarine. The submarine being lost, and the days that are being timed, that's gonna run out of oxygen and all this BS, which ultimately now, right? I'm pretty sure a couple days ago, today is the 25th. So on the 24th or the 23rd, a couple days, it was declared that the people already had passed away due to the lack of oxygen. And I'm pretty sure the pressure itself was so deep that the submarine, just completely was caved in or crashed, or it just I don't even know the technical word. It compacted itself to a point that it just got crushed and completely destroyed. And now there's other news saying that the day that we found out that this story was going on was the day that they actually passed away, that all this happened. But in the news, they were pushing out that they got this many days until they get, lose oxygen and all this BS. So yes, that submarine bullshit was a distraction. And it's even deeper, right? The people that were in the submarine, they were a group of people that they had a title, and they represented something. I can't tell you what exactly it is because I haven't done the research on them, but the main point is that this was a distraction. But if you look into who were these people that were in the submarine and what were they titled, what were they positioned, I bet you would make more sense how this is all a distraction. It was planned for them to be sacrificed. That being said, let's get back to the main point. In the background, hidden under the curtains, behind the curtains, the FDA and the USDA, right? They approved cell cultivated meat. And this is coming to a city near you, right? How ironic. After all this bullshit that been happening since the crown, 1 to the 9, right? The pestilence, you know what I'm talking about. How ironic. Like I said at the beginning of this lesson, man, don't be surprised for some type of food crisis. Something's coming, man. All right. So now, let's get the video. Let's watch it. Hopefully,
Today and how a new way to grow the meat we eat could make a big impact on the environment. Americans ate an estimated 75 billion pounds of red meat and chicken last year. But what if some of that meat was not raised on farms, but in high-tech facilities?
Scientists say it can mean fewer greenhouse gas emissions and just a fraction of the land and water use. Our Devin Dwyer joins us now with a look. Devin, good to see you.
Hey guys, it's called cultivated meat, real beef and chicken grown from animal cells in large tanks. The FDA has given the green light for safety, and now one company is ready to ramp up production just outside San Francisco. This is what you've called a slaughterless house.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The equipment looks like a commercial brewery, but it's not beer they're making.
So that's where it all starts. Just a few cells.
It's meat. So you're making meat in here,
Yes.
but I don't see any animals and I don't see any animal parts.
Well, that's the trick, right?
Stainless.
right. That's the trick. What peculiar set of words to use while trying to push this how do I word it? Right? What peculiar set of words used to push this cell cat what is it called, Salakia? Cell cultivated meat is a trick, right? Let's go to let me get this. Second Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his devices. This something's coming, man. Some type of food crisis is coming. And this is why, all these ironic sets of events have been happening since the pandemic. You see? And not too long ago, the 100,000 chicken were burnt. And now they're growing cell cultivated chicken meat. Very ironic, right? But going back to what the guy said, it's a trick. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. And yes, this guy's a heathen. He looked like a Elamite, so-called Indian man. But ultimately, he's a puppet for the elites. This is part of Esau's movement, right? So-called white man. So Psalms 55:21 says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. So everything they're going to say is going to sound good. It's going to look good. But war was in his heart. He had a different agenda. They had drawn swords. They have a plan, a scheme, a device to go against the people. You see? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind while we're watching this video, okay?
Indication for this is 2 months ago, we are the first company in the world.
Worldwide. For families, Biden is also so to
So yeah, Salakia, I think the video kept playing. Right, the video kept playing for some reason.
but it's not beer they're making.
So that's where it all starts. Just a few cells.
It's meat. So you're making meat in here,
Yes.
but I don't see any animals and I don't see any animal parts.
Well, that's the trick, right?
Stainless steel bioreactors or cultivators produce real meat from animal stem cells. You're making chicken in there.
Yeah. So if you look at this, this is approximately a 200 plus liter tank. And we take cells from a chicken or an egg.
Dr. Uma Valetti is a cardiologist who founded Upside Foods, taking on a food chain as old as time.
Takes 2 weeks to grow the equivalent of one chicken, 1,000 chickens, or 100,000 chickens.
So you're saying in this factory, you can make more meat faster and cleaner than an average farmer.
Well, ultimately, yes.
But first, the technology costing billions of dollars to fine tune will need even more investment to scale up. We saw how cells kept on ice can be replicated on a large scale, that a mixture of vitamins, fats, sugars, and oxygen in tanks growing into tissues of chicken. Farmers have been growing meat for generations. What problem are you solving here?
The demand for meat is continuing to grow and double and double.
The the demand for meat is continuing to grow, doubling and doubling. So this is what they're supposedly fixing, this problem.
And we just don't have.
First of all, the Lord Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi left enough food for the world to be sustained. You see? So these men have said that there's a problem with
Battery low.
so like as a speaker, a problem with the what you call it? The demand on meat is pure bullshit, man. It's extremely bullshit. Especially when we know that these elites ultimately what they want to do is get the whole world venomed up. Right? And yeah, this is part of the agenda as well. Something that I didn't mention, but now it's coming out. They're putting these vaccines in the meat, in the food. And it's going to be pushed on the people. This is the truth. All right, look it up.
In our resources, our ability to continue to grow that much meat. So the simple problem we're trying to solve is to bring meat to the table in a way that future generations.
And look at this, man. This looks like a regular chicken tenders. It looks like regular chicken tenders that Purdue franchise, or what you call it, meat, right? You know what I'm talking about. That brand. It looks just like it.
And abundance of it, but with the upside to animal welfare.
The potential to exponentially expand the food supply has attracted top-tier investors like Bill Gates, Richard Branson, and
Here we go. Billy Gates. Billy Gates. Now, let's get this right. The truth about why Bill Gates keeps buying up so much farmland. Bill Gates owns a ton of farmland in the United States, as in about 270,000 acres. That makes him the largest landowner in the U.S. Stats show agriculture is a pretty good investment for billionaires. How ironic. He just started buying these lands in the time of the pandemic, if I'm not mistaken. But how ironic that this devil, the man that is pushing the venom, right? The man that has bought all these acres of farmland, now he is the largest landowner in the U.S. Bill Gates is helping out with this cell cultivated meat. When all these things are happening to the real food, there's something behind it, man. There's something behind it, all right? There's something behind it. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, though it sound good, for the words of his mouth were smooth than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Psalms 55:21. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Right? Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. All right? These devils are going above and beyond. Above and beyond. Just so they can go against, ultimately the so-called black man, Latino, Native American, but against the whole world. So how ironic that this devil is helping out with this movement, and he's the number one. He's the largest landowner in the U.S. Number one landowner in the U.S. Let's continue.
the food founder John Mackey. President Biden is also on board, signing an executive order to support cultivating alternative food sources. Advocates say cultivating meat could feed more families, reduce harm to animals, and eliminate environmental impacts of animal farming.
Sounds good. It sounds good. Trust me. we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. We ain't trusting this devil.
which is responsible for 15% of greenhouse gas emissions.
Which is bullshit, man. All these animals are the causes of greenhouse gas emission, of global warming. So what you gonna do? You gonna by this cultivated meat, you're gonna how is that gonna stop the animals from releasing gas, by the way? Right, you're gonna stop feeding them, right? So that they don't produce a lot, when ultimately you're the one that is injecting hormones into them and making them into brolic, muscular steroid meats, and then selling it to the people. And this is USDA, FDA approved. How many stuff have they approved that always gets called back and has done harm onto the people? Let's continue.
Is it safe? Absolutely. And the best indication for this is 2 months ago, we are the first company in the world to get FDA green light to bring cultivated chicken.
Right there. Is it safe? And why is it safe? Because it got FDA green light. Yeah. By the way, let me see, what is this scripture right here? Okay. Let me read these comments, right? From this post on my IG on the same topic of this cell cultivated meat, right? Let's see what the people are saying. Okay, it says, one person says, yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. From me. It's gonna be a no from me, dog. Right. Another one says, in other words, they are selling cancer for consumption. Got it. Another person says, nah, I'll eat the grass in my yard before I do that. Another person says, empower your local farm man. And if you look what's happening, the government is taxing a high amount towards the local farmers, and they're actually trying to prevent local farmers to keep pushing their produce that they get from their agriculture or their livestock. They're trying to prevent from them pushing that and selling it to the people, so that the people can be fully dependent on the government. Look that up. Another person says, no fucking thank you. Don't buy anything from Bill Gates, right? Person says, hell nah. As a Californian, I wish we could just be our own country. I mean, we could loan all you broke states who whine and complain about everything we do money. We make up most of the income economy in the USA. This guy is stupid. Because even if that's true, if California makes most of the income for the USA, who are you to be proud about that? You were just a puppet and a slave and a cattle. Ultimately, the government is the one pushing this cell cultivated meat, and they're pushing it first in California, using your imbecile self as a lab rat. This is the pride that America has, man. Let's continue. It says big no to Soylent Green, cancer delivery. Everyone stop eating all kind of meats. So cancer? Question mark. Immortal cell lines equals cancer. Bill Gates really wants the population to decrease really bad. Hey, man, look at the spirit that the people's in, man. The Lord is already putting the spirit of division, and something is gonna come. I'm telling you, man. All right. This is Luke 21:11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. So famines and pestilence, man. All right, this crown 1 to the 9 was just the tip of the iceberg. Was lightweight. Was the Lord just showing a glimpse of his power? Truly, this is nothing compared to what's about to come. All right, famine is coming. And not just famine of the food, famine of the word. But famine is coming. Some type of food crisis is gonna happen. Right? There's a worldly saying, you control the money, you control the world. You control the food, you control the people. There's something's gonna happen, and it's all about population control, and it's all about controlling everybody's daily life and controlling each individual. All right, you've been warned. This submarine bullshit was a distraction. All right, understand that something's coming. Some food crisis will come. I pray that this lesson be edifying to the elect. I truly hope that this lesson was edifying to the elect. Let's give all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadah. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well in time of this truth. Shalom to the Bayat Dawadah. Shalom to the sincere Akwathium who are staying in order according to the scriptures. I want to finish off by saying DTA, Abba, Kwam Yasharallah. Lord willing, on to the next lesson. Shalom.